post-match pint. It's post-match pint. Atkinson, Blundell not messing about in the Phoenix at the bottom of Kearsley Street after Liverpool for the second successive season in this competition, beating West Ham United by 5-1, which is no barrel of laughs for West Ham. It really isn't. And they brought a fair few as well, and they were all streaming out.
Incidentally, have you ever seen as many fans go for a pint at half-time? I think it's the most empty in a way and there's ever been at half-time, like, including any of ours ever.
It's a nice facility
it's
as well.
Unbelievable. Fair play to them. They've realised the football wasn't that important for them. And it's just midweek night in Liverpool. Let's just have a nice time. Fair play.
All got down on 43 and made themselves comfortable. And yeah, they're all streaming into town to go to the opening of Glorious. That's all I can think. I want to talk about, first and foremost, let's talk about the highlights of the season, which is the goalmouth scramble that involved Shimmercast blocking it with his head, to be fair to him, and then the keeper sweeping up. Shimmercast was brilliant.
It was. You could sort of, from where I was, I could sort of see him make the conscious decision that he was going to do it.
I'm going to have to do
and
this
he's like, I'm going to have to do this, you know. I'm going to... It's like one of those things where time slowed down, and I saw Kostas Tsimikas go, my best way home here is throwing myself at that ball head first, and Christ, he threw himself at that ball really head first. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
What was great was, so the keeper does brilliantly, obviously, and it's scramble, and then they all celebrate really physically with the keeper, and I'm like, what about the lad who went head first to the football?
It's like they were going, well done, Queef, well done, mate, and I'm like, what did you want to the other fella who just, like, kamikaze himself at the ball head first? Like, there's a world where he's not playing for another 10 days and has no teeth left. He's got to get emergency dental surgery because Jared Bowen has webbed him in the teeth.
I think part of the reason why West Ham don't score from it is Bowen's like, what's this fella doing here?
It's a third round of the League Cup. This is not what you're doing in the third round of the League Cup, is it? That's what you do in finals and Champions League games, mate. Nah, sorry, you've got too much for me here. Absolutely fair play to him. Like, I wanted to come here and have fun, and ultimately that was the fun that I wanted, and I secured. It was fantastic.
It was. I was going to talk about all sorts of bits and pieces, but I just couldn't stop thinking.
You had to start on that, didn't you?
Yeah, it was almost like I got the impression I couldn't even see where the bottom of his mouth was because of how much he put his head towards the ball. But I got the impression he was like, as he launched himself at it. Absolutely, genuinely.
Should we do football now?
Sorry.
Should we do actual football now, or do you want to just carry on with that?
I want to do Gakpo's fourth, and the reason why I want to do Gakpo's fourth is because he's desperate to score.
Yeah.
And I think we all do the thing. Gakpo played really well in Milan. Well in Milan, but he doesn't get a goal. And he's not featured that much on the pitch. Nunez has scored, Diaz has scored, Chiesa's new and it's not the same. Salah's obviously scored. And I think there's a serious thing, where Cody Gakpo didn't want to be waking up on the 1st of October and he hasn't scored yet for Liverpool.
No, 100%.
It was a real, I want to get my season started. So I think he plays well tonight, he played great in Milan, but he really wanted that goal. And that's something this competition can be good for. We can talk about the number of changes you make all you want, but Cody Gakpo's season now, in his head, it feels like he's up and running.
It gives him the opportunity, and he's taken the opportunity in the last 2 midweeks. I think he's probably been... I know Gravenberch won the official man of the match last week, but I thought from 37,000 feet of where I watched the match that he was Liverpool's best player on the night. I thought he was our best player again tonight. I thought he looked dangerous. He was the most dangerous looking in the first half, bar the moment where Chiesa managed to do something that mind-boggling, that he was given offside for passing it to himself.
Yeah.
Which is one of the best things I think I've ever...
Did you see Nunez have the argument with the ref?
Yeah, and the ref was like, well, I think the ref realised what had happened after he'd already given it.
The ref went, one of them, literally went to Nunez fair point, but I'll just have to get on with the game.
Yeah, it was like after the equaliser, Chiesa's basically gone to the referee, is that onside? And he's like, there's no VAR. Like, Chiesa found out there was no VAR walking back to the halfway line after 2 goals had been scored, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, Gakpo was he was just very good. He looks dangerous. He looks like, you know, it's good job Diaz has been, for Diaz from his point of view, that he's been on it at the start of the season, because after, if he wasn't, there'd be an argument that he should be the one starting at the weekend. But because Diaz has been so good, he now can't, and it's almost a bit harsh that you can't really start the two of them together because you can't play 2 left wingers.
Yeah.
And they've both been what you want, and but that is what you want from this season, because it's going to be long. Like, we've just given ourselves another game by winning there, and that'll be a tight turnaround, because we'll be Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, and the games either side are Arsenal and Brighton. So it might even be that it's a weaker team than tonight. The one thing that game is good for is that looks like it's about the time Elliott's back, so it'll be good to get some minutes into him.
Yep.
And there'll be like opportunities, like I thought Endo did all right tonight. It was.
I think it was one where I think the manager has a good half time.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
Because I think that he clarifies it a bit for Endo. And he almost clarifies it a bit for Endo in the way that Jurgen did.
Yeah.
Which is he almost went, it's fine for your first pass to be 15 yards forward on a diagonal.
Yeah.
If that's what you're comfortable playing and it's going to help us keep the ball, and then let Jones worry about what happens next. But the number of times second half I thought where first half I thought he was stuttering a little bit, finding it a little bit tricky and he getting caught. Second half he just punches it. And we saw last season when you let him punch it, he can punch it.